That's greatness.
Cam Allen, played for the Guelph Storm, 2023 draft prospect, and this is the I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Moving like I got nothing to lose. Moving like I got nothing to lose.
They're all out there for Guelph now. Allen
Moving like I got nothing to lose.
The ball storm against Machar. He'll win it. Back to Allen. Allen long shot.
Moving like I got nothing to lose.
Cam Allen off the draw. El Shaw for the point with some traffic, and it's 5-1 Storm.
Back down to Carabella. Here's Bushinger to Allen. First penalty over. Scores! Cam Allen. Power play goal. They're waving it off immediately. The official back of the net. Saw it all the way. Back. Allen has another look.
He walks into it, and he scores! Deflected off somebody. Might be Potter's goal. We'll see in a second. The Storm tie it quickly. Allen is taking credit.
Moving like I got nothing to lose. Living 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 like I got nothing to lose.
Born in Toronto, what was your childhood like for you growing up?
Yeah, I grew up right in the city in Toronto. I started hockey at a young age and have two siblings as well, younger. So kind of grew up the older brother, played hockey growing up. And living in Toronto has been great. Love the city and still come back in the summers, obviously, and rep the city. So yeah, Toronto was great growing up, just, growing up in a big city and hockey capital of the world too. So can't complain.
That's for sure. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Yeah, I played some lacrosse when I was younger. It's kind of in my family and, I enjoyed it. I think it's a great sport to play when you're young, physicality and everything. So, but I kind of stopped playing that. Played school sports. I was a pretty good softball player, but didn't really continue that. So.
Okay, and that's box lacrosse too, probably, right?
Yeah, box. I never played field. I got a good friend that's a really good lacrosse player, and he plays field out in the States now. But I never got into field lacrosse, but box lacrosse, that was pretty good.
Yeah, the box is more Canadian, anyways, I think.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. America's taken over field lacrosse, really.
Yeah, exactly. Who are some of your early influences, and who did you really try to model your game after growing up?
Honestly, growing up, my favorite player was always Brendan Gallagher, guy from out west. Yeah, he's still my favorite player. Really, I got his jersey hanging up downstairs, but I don't know. I love the way he plays. I've always loved him. I think he stole my number because I was 11 before he was. And I always loved him after that. Still do, but I mean, not same position or style player, but I think just I've always loved Gallagher, just the way he plays, and I'm a Habs fan as well, which helps. But now I'd say more like whenever I say I'm modeling my game after someone, I kind of say Ryan McDonough now. It's more of an interview answer. Like I don't watch, I watched Tampa when they were winning and stuff, but my second favorite player right now is Josh Anderson on Montreal too. I love Josh Anderson. So those are my favorite players, but McDonough is a guy like I want my game to be similar to, and just a guy that's such a great leader on every team he's been on, and with Tampa as well, played a little bit less of a role or a lower role, I should say, but he still had such a big impact, and you're not winning Stanley Cups without guys like him. So just a guy that, if I can be anything close to him, to what he's like in the NHL, then, I think I'll do all right.
And so you say, so basically the Habs are your team?
Yeah, Habs are my team, always have been. Yeah.
How does the Toronto guy go for the Habs?
My grandfather, my grandparents are from Montreal, and my grandpa's a huge, sorry, dog's barking. My grandfather's a huge Habs fan, and had some influence on me growing up, and so I've always been loyal to them.
Oh, a couple of good choices there. I mean, Gallagher, especially Vancouver Giant, and he literally he trains about 20 minutes from here. So.
Yeah.
How important has your family been over your career?
They've been great. They're, my dad got me into hockey, and they've always supported me, and they've pushed me, but at the same time, they've kind of let me figure out my own path. And, they love that I play hockey and support it, but they said if I don't want to do it, I wouldn't have to. So it's like everything's in my hands. They've supported everything I've done, but haven't made me feel like I have to play or that's all I do. So, I've appreciated that. Kind of takes a weight off my shoulder and just allows me to love the game. So when it comes to hockey, I think, same thing I want to do with my kids when I'm older. And I think it's just the way I'm really fortunate for the way they kind of raised me.
Good answer. And the parents always do so much for the kids growing up and getting them to the rinks and putting out the money to make it happen. Hockey's not a cheap sport, you know that.
Not at all. No, exactly. You need a lot of support from your parents, especially in hockey. So yeah, for sure.
That's for sure. And I've got a couple draft questions along the way here. This is one of them. If you were having a dream dinner party and you could invite 3 famous people, dead or alive, who do you want to bring to your party?
Oh gosh, to a draft party?
No, to just like a dinner, like say your birthday party.
No.
Don't have to be hockey players. For me, an example is I go Tupac, Seth Rogen.
Yeah, okay.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
Seth Rogen is my comedian, and then some eye candy. I like to go with Paulina Gretzky.
Yeah. Seth Rogen's a good one. Oh, there's got to be a few that I'm gonna be kicking myself later when I'm thinking about this, and I think of so many good ones. But I'd say I think Drake would have to be there for sure. I love Drake. Toronto boy, but said 3 Drake. I think having an athlete there would be cool. I mean, there's not many hockey players with crazy personalities. Maybe LeBron. Like I was gonna say, actually not LeBron, but maybe I'd go with an NBA player. I like Jimmy Butler. I thought he was sick in playoffs. Just a cool guy. I've always liked him. Like I'm not really hopping on a bandwagon. He's just a guy that I watched, for quite a few years, and then to have the year that he did in the playoffs, he had it would be so. I think he's an incredible athlete, obviously, and what he did was amazing this year. And for a third guy, come on, who would you go? Who? Give me a couple.
Well, I always throw in some eye candy because I want to see some. So I go with Paulina Gretzky, but.
Oh yeah, okay, fair, yeah.
Shakira for me.
You said dead or alive for I think Pop Smoke. I love Pop Smoke. He's my favorite rapper. I guess dead or alive he would be for sure. Yeah, no, I love Pop Smoke. Huge fan.
Yeah, he makes good music, that's for sure. Have you always been defense?
So no, in minor Adam, so that's grade 4 for me. Like my first year in AAA was actually my first year playing defense. So my 3 years of like before AAA level, I was a forward and I was a center. And yeah, I was a good player, and I kind of played some spring hockey and started playing defense. And it just, the game felt like you could slow the game down. It was just, I didn't know what it was at that point, but I loved playing it and I loved the position. So yeah, they said I was good at it. So I played D, and, I love playing defense, but it got to a point where I kind of missed playing forward, and I still love scoring goals and stuff. And, you kind of take on a different role when you're playing D, and especially as you get older and those offensive opportunities are less and less. It's like, but I did miss it, but overall I think defense is where I belong, and I'm happy with where I am. But here and there I think about if I just stayed forward, like what would it be like now? Couldn't tell you, but it's interesting.
Get more ice time playing defense anyways.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What's one aspect of your game you're still trying to work on?
Honestly, this year I think after the rookie season that I had, and then not being able to really take the step that I wanted to this year, I think it's just a consistency aspect. And I think a lot of it's mental when it comes to consistency, but it's something that once I'm able to be at my best all the time, I'll be able to really pick up more momentum in my game, I think, and that's what'll help me have a good season this year. So just something that I've kind of focused on. And when I reflect on the past season, like maybe what wasn't there, I'm, able to, really understand what I need to do this coming season to improve that.
So we'll touch on that rookie season here in a second, but back to the original OHL draft. You went 3rd overall. Where were you that day? A couple of years now, but
yeah, so it was during COVID and the gatherings were small. So I was there it was my family, like just my immediate family, and then our family friends. It was at their house, and a few of my friends were there, and a couple of families that I'm really close with. So it was maybe 20 people there at that time. It was, but yeah, it was a great night. Just kind of was able to spend it with, people that I'd grown up with and have gotten me to that point, specifically within hockey as well. So yeah, it was a special moment. And honestly, even though it was during COVID, it was still a night I won't forget, and was still able to enjoy that, which was nice.
And 37 points in your rookie season. You also got OHL Rookie of the Year. What does that feel like being acknowledged as the Rookie of the Year, and what contributed to that good season?
Yeah, it was really cool to have that, and I was honored to be awarded that, and I think it was the most satisfaction I got out of it was all the years building up to that, and during COVID, all the work that I put in. And it was my first season in 3 years or whatever it was because of COVID. So I think it was just, I was really proud of myself for the work that I put in to that point. And, it made me realize that, when you put in work, it does serve you well. And, there's nothing like hard work. So, that's kind of what I live by and continue to have in my everyday routine. And it's inspired me from that point on as well. So yeah, it was awesome.
So year 2, a few points less, but you contributed in other ways. What changed in year 2?
I don't think our team got off to a tough start, and I did as from an individual level as well, and a lot of guys did, and it was tough finding our footing. We had different coaches, and I love the coaches that I had this year, and I don't think it's still going to be difficult to transition from one coach to another, but yeah, it was just some individual struggles within the team, and it was a slow start for us. But it's hard to find your rhythm in your game at that point, and I tried to take on a bigger role within my team from the year before, and it was tough. Sometimes it feels like the points just aren't coming, or every time they score, you're on the ice. And when you look at shift to shift, usually there's reason behind that, and it's not a coincidence that you're dash whatever after a few games. So it was a little more of a choppy season, and one where I didn't feel I found as much of a rhythm as I wish I could have. But Still a great learning year, I think, and one that was necessary for my development, I feel. And, it's unfortunate that it was in my draft year that maybe I underperformed or didn't perform to the level that I was expecting to. But, overall, I think it was a good learning year.
So what was it like putting on Team Canada jersey and especially having the C?
Yeah, it was really cool. And having that at Halinka before my rookie season, that was awesome, and such a great group there that we didn't really face too much adversity there, but it took hard work to win those games, and they were good teams. But and then obviously at the U18 World Championships, it was a little more difficult. Just a tired group of guys, didn't have access to, the entire nation's top players, but we had a good team, and we were pretty confident going in. And it was unfortunate. Yeah, guys were tired, like I said, and it was tough to know that group. We're in Switzerland as well. The bigger ice makes a bit of a difference, and those teams all work months in advance to build up to that tournament, whereas Hockey Canada kind of has to put a team together a couple weeks before. So I'm not making excuses here, but I just think it was a more difficult situation, and that challenged me more as a leader as well, because there were more things that I don't want to say I was responsible of doing, but I felt like there were more places I could help, and it made me hold myself to a higher standard. And yeah, it was a more adversity we faced in that tournament for sure, but it was also something that I'm so glad and fortunate to be able to have that experience as well. And both of them were awesome, but the adversity that we faced as a group in the World Championships was one that really helped us all grow, and especially I'd say myself just being the leader there too.
Okay, good answer. So how are you? This week's the draft. So how are you preparing for it? You're supposed to be one of the top. I'm hoping you're gonna be the top D man off the board here.
Yeah, I'm keeping my expectations pretty non-existent. I don't want to go in worrying too much. All the work has been done. Like after the combine, it was kind of a nice little sigh of relief, really. Just now we go to the draft, get to not have to worry about hockey too much until after, and you go to development camp. But now until Wednesday or Thursday or whenever it is that I get drafted, I'm just trying to enjoy it all, really. Yeah, like I said, no expectations, just enjoy it with people closest to me that are going to come and have a good time in Nashville. So yeah,
that's for sure. You're getting drafted regardless, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, well, I hope so, but yeah, I'm not too worried.
How was the combine for you? Like what how was that experience?
It was good. It was a long week of meetings and stuff, and you get to talk to some guys you hadn't seen, and having no on ice stuff was kind of nice. You just focus on the off ice. You're not lugging your gear around everywhere, so it's kind of nice. But it was a long week, and then the testing came, and it kind of felt like the 5 days in advance were leading up to that. So it was a little stressful, but I was looking forward to it, really, so I didn't feel too nervous or too pressured. I was happy with the results as well. I thought I did pretty well. Some things maybe could do better than others, but overall with the results, I was pretty happy, and kind of expected it as well. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was a good experience.
So big Canadian right shot defense. What do you bring to my Canucks? Because I know we need that out here. We need a big right-handed D-man. So what could you bring to the Canucks or any team?
Well, honestly, just what I want to bring to the next level is just compete in kind of a championship mindset. I want to. That's kind of the style of game I play. Just a two-way defender with a bit of an edge. I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I'm 6 feet. But I'm physically strong, and that allows me to kind of compete against anyone and play with that edge. But I think just I'll compete every night and be able to have a positive impact on the game. That's what I always want to do from the back end, is just have a positive impact on my team every single night. And like I said, championship mindset. Anywhere I go, I want to win, and I have such high expectations for myself that no one expects more out of me than me, and that just allows me to bring my best every day.
Okay. And what did you learn from that playoff series against Sarnia that you can take into next
good.
year? Yeah, they are good, right?
Well, it was good to get the experience in the playoff. You know, those games are always so valuable to having some experience and having success the next year. So, yeah, it was. They were a really skilled team, and it was a cool environment. And we felt we had a chance to win. We felt like, we weren't there to just play. We were there to play to win. And that's what made it so cool was the buy-in from our group. And we went down 3-0, and we had 2 games in there that we could have won, but they took those games, and then we go with our backs against the wall, and we win 2 in a row. And then in game 6, that was tough, that overtime loss, and the battle back to get there. We score that goal, and then we're going to game 7 in Sarnia, and anything can happen. And we felt good against London too the whole year. We matched up well against them, or I don't even know we would have played after that. But it was really cool, and it was unfortunate that we got out, but Sarnia is a good team. They earned a lot of that success that they had, and it was tough, but definitely some great experience I gained out of that. Yeah.
Being from the O, what's it like playing against friend of the show, Colby Barlow? And I know you play on the same team as him once in a while on the national teams, but
yeah, I love to sing his praises. Really, he's just starting at Halinka. I always mention whenever teams ask me about players, I usually mention his name. And Halinka, he impressed me so much because he wasn't put in such a very big role at that point. He was playing third, fourth line. And they gave him some penalty kill time, and he took advantage of that and was a guy that never complained at all. And the caliber of player that he is, it's easy to complain in those situations where you're not getting very many minutes, but he made the most of it and kept his head down and worked. And I think that speaks to his leadership abilities and the success that he had in Owen Sound this past year. So yeah, no, I was really impressed with him, and it's kind of given me a new level of respect for his game as well. And yeah, the year that he had was really good as well, and he set himself up nicely for this week.
yeah, no kidding. I'm gonna lose my shit if the Canucks pass on him at 11.
What number are they picking at?
11.
They're 11. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, well, we'll see. He's gonna be around there.
He's supposed to be right around there. And I mean, they took him out for dinner and stuff, the Canucks. But
I don't want to say anything, but yeah, I knew that. Yeah, and so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm hoping, because I'm friends with his dad, and ever since we had him on the podcast, at the top prospects game, his dad was out here, and we went out for a couple beers and dinner.
Oh yeah, nice. That's cool. Yeah, his dad's a great guy. I've only spoken to him briefly a few times, but yeah, good guy.
Yeah, that's for sure. And what did you think? You were at the top prospects game.
Yeah.
What do you think of Vancouver?
Well, we were in Langley. And we didn't see a ton, but it was cool. I mean, the hospitality there was great, and it was they did a good job making it a great experience there. It's tough, mid season, but they gave us the rest we needed, did some media stuff, got a practice in, pregame skate, and then the game. So it was a quick couple days, but it was cool. And it was kind of my first time playing against a lot of those guys. Like I knew a good amount, but it was a lot of fresh faces there that I hadn't seen. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I was out there at the game and stuff. They didn't let any fans near any of you guys. Like I tried to get down there to meet people, even a chance to see Barlow. They didn't let anybody near.
No, there was no signing, nothing.
Yeah,
there. It was great. It was crazy. Yeah.
They were pretty strict. Have you had any crazy draft questions leading up to this draft this week?
Honestly, like at the combine.
Yeah.
Like the interviews. Yeah, like the interviews I had at the combine, they were fine. Honestly, I had some good interviews, and the questions weren't too crazy. I had like Montreal asked what animal would you say you are on and off the ice? And the off ice is kind of like you're not prepared for that when you're going in. So that was
that's coming up right here. I got that question next. So.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but
if you're an animal, what would you be?
Yeah, well, for hockey, I sometimes I say cheetah. It's a good. I think it's not the ordinary, and it's you look at characteristics of a cheetah, and it's pretty. I could see myself playing like that. So that's something I try to emulate, I guess, a cheetah. But Off ice, I don't know. I couldn't give you a good answer. I forget what I said to Montreal.
We always ask that question because I go with the dolphin because I look like a dolphin because I got no hair. I got no hair and
That's
a
a good one.
nose. Yeah. Another one of my draft questions. Some teams do rookie idol. Do you have a song that you're singing for rookie idol?
No, I don't. I don't know. Like a karaoke song?
Yeah, karaoke song.
Gosh, how do I not have one? Like,
Yeah.
oh, our team did one all year. It was Something in the Orange was our team song. Every time we would there was karaoke around, it was there were a couple performances of that same song. So I mean, yeah, I'd say I'd have to go with the boys on this one. I like that track. So yeah. It's a good country song, you could say.
Okay. Another draft question we got from Cole Perfetti back a couple years ago. If there was $100 bill in the toilet and a $20 bill on the counter, what bill are you going for?
Man, like $100 bill for sure. That's a dumb question. That's a really dumb question. But I think that if someone says they're getting that $20 bill, it kind of speaks a lot about who they are. So, I mean, how many times have you heard someone say they're just taking that 20? So
A lot. Surprisingly,
really?
a lot. But as soon as I tell them that the scouts want to hear that you're getting your hands dirty,
Yeah.
so then they're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense." But
Yeah.
the real answer might be to take both.
Yeah. Oh, true. Actually, maybe that's what I would do. Honestly.
What do you look for in a good coach?
I think I work well with a lot of different style of coaches. To be honest, I haven't really had issues with coaches in the past, but I like when coaches they're looking for your best interests, and that's ultimately what's going to help the team and allow you to perform, to your potential really. And I'm thinking like a coach that's yelling at you and just kind of making you feel, making you feel like 2 feet tall. It's doesn't really help your game, I think, and it translates to the ice. And I've been fortunate not to really have that, but there have been times in the past when I have, and that's just something that sticks out to me as something that I don't want to have in a coach. But other than that, really, I don't have many complaints with coaches. A lot of coaches have different styles, and like I said, I think I work well in most of those style of coaches, and have had a lot of different coaches over the years, but yeah, I've had good ones so far. So yeah,
that's for sure. And you did have former Canucks Scotty Walker.
Oh yeah, I loved having him. I know it was short lived his time with us,
Yeah.
but it was I loved having him, and yeah, it was disappointing when he wasn't able to continue, but we understood, and he was good to the group for the time that he was there, and I expected a lot out of guys. And I still remember a lot of the things that he said to me while he was my coach, and it was good to have him. Yeah, he's a good hockey mind and was a competitor when he played too, and you can see it in his coaching style as well, and I love that.
That's
Fires
for sure.
you up for sure. Yeah.
What's your personal highlight? I'm sure it's coming this week, but other than that,
Highlight for like just
your favorite moment of your career.
Oh gosh. I mean, a lot of the coolest moments I've had have come like in the OHL really. Like I have some great minor hockey memories. I won OHFs when I was younger, and I couldn't tell you how I really felt in that moment. And like I'm sure it was an awesome feeling. It wasn't a cakewalk to get there, but I think as you gain more experiences and know what it feels like to lose and to win, and so I think the past couple of years, it's just even some of the regular season wins that we've had with our team, it's so hard to win sometimes. And having those wins in the OHL, like there's been some that have just been surreal really, and they'll come on a Thursday night in Kitchener or something, or on a Tuesday, but you never know. It's like it's those nights where you battle and you earn it with your teammates, and just a fast-paced game. Those are the ones that I really look back and love, but I couldn't give you them off the top of my head really.
Okay, do you have a favorite road
Rookie of the year was pretty cool too, but I mean, I'm talking from a team standpoint. Like That's my way of saying I haven't won a championship in a while. Really, I haven't won a championship in a while, so I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm due for one.
There you go. Do you have a favorite road barn?
Kitchener's pretty cool. It's big. I like playing against them because I want to. The game's so intense because I hate them so much. I want to win so badly every time we play, and their rink's really cool as well. And they get a lot of fans that are all cheering against. Not for you, for the home team, obviously, but it's a different environment in there, and it's a cool rink.
Okay. You have a dream stadium that you wish to play in one day?
Ooh, probably the Bell Center.
Yep.
Just gonna have saying I've been to the Bell Center once, watched a game a few years back. Gallagher wasn't in the lineup, so I've seen him play actually in Toronto, I think once or twice. But yeah, pretty cool there, and obviously a famous building. Madison Square Garden would be cool as well, so that's on the list for sure too. Yeah, those are 1 and 2.
That's usually the answer most people give. They can't wait to play in MSG, but
Toronto would be cool too, just because I grew up here and just I've been there so many times. It's just that would be awesome.
So have you ever met Gally?
No, I haven't. When I was really young, I was with my grandpa actually, and I sent him like a letter in the mail, and I don't even know if I'm pretty sure I sent it, but maybe not. But yeah, I've never actually met him, but no, maybe I will one day. He's out west, so it's difficult. He's not from Toronto. I see a lot of the Toronto guys, but it's tough. I haven't really seen many of those guys out west.
He's actually a friendly guy, so.
I'm sure he is. No, he seems like a great guy. I can't speak from experience, but do you know him at all? Have you met him?
I don't know him, but I run into him at the rinks. I also run into him at all the Vancouver Giants games.
Yeah.
Any alumni events or stuff like that. So, but
That's cool that he goes to those too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know him. I see him down when I collect autographs too. So I sometimes see him out at he's training out at Delta Hockey Club.
Yeah, cool.
Because his dad's like a full trainer.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Gatorade color and your stick tape color?
I always tape my stick black and Gatorade color. I think white's pretty good. I'm not too picky, but yeah.
Okay. What about pregame rituals?
I take a nap. I take a pretty long nap. I usually have to go to school in the morning when I'm in Guelph, which can mess up my routine. But yeah, I'll nap, eat my meal before my nap, and get a coffee. I drink coffee before the game. Started eating Mr. Noodles before the game too, actually. Probably not the best thing to eat, but the sodium in there. The sodium in there is actually my legs cramp sometimes, so I need like electrolytes, and the sodium from the Mr. Noodles actually kind of helps. So,
do you have a favorite sports movie?
I love Miracle. It's a sick movie. I mean, I can't it's American, obviously, but it's just such a good movie. I think any hockey fan or really any sports fan can appreciate it.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Probably just teleportation. Take a lot of traveling things out of question. It's the travel is you get tired of it pretty quickly, and I haven't really. And I'm in the Ontario League as well. You hear stories all the time from the Western guys about how long some of their trips are, and I could imagine because I have it pretty nice, and I'm already kind of tired of
it. That's for sure. Would you rather go to deep sea or outer space? I mean, the deep sea the last week has been a little iffy.
Yeah, it's been no way. Honestly, I'm not a big water guy. I mean, I grew up around the water in the summers, like at cottages and stuff, and I still like going in the water, but I'm not much of a swimmer. So, I don't really like the thought of going really deep underwater. It kind of freaks me out. So I think it'd be cool to go to space.
Okay. What's the best Halloween costume you've ever had?
I was one of the guys from Slapshot, one of the Hanson brothers, 1 year. That's probably my coolest. Wrap my hands in tinfoil and the whole bit. Looked pretty sick.
What goals are you setting for yourself next season? Last question.
Uh, I just want to contribute as much as I can to my team winning. We have high expectations this year. We're going to take it one game at a time, and that's the same thing for my individual goals. But I want to be, I want to that personal success will come, the points will come. But so my main focus is just how can I help my team the most of my abilities every single night, and we'll go from there. But that's kind of my mindset. I'm not thinking too far ahead, one game at a time, and I'm expecting a lot out of myself. But yeah, I don't want to look too far ahead. So.
All right, we'll wrap this up and let you go enjoy Nashville tomorrow. And good luck on this
Awesome.
draft.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck
no,
on
I'm
the
excited.
draft. I'll
Can't
be
wait.
cheering you on. You got fans in me for life now. I'll constantly be liking your posts and cheering you on. And come if you ever end up in Vancouver, I'll come see you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for having me on.